chemistry is just so fascinating in the sense that you get to know things about the world that you can't even possibly imagine. For example, right now I'm taking organic chemistry and we're learning about acids and the different reactions. And you wouldn't think that that was possible, but it is. And you're just learning very parts of the world that you couldn't think, that are so small that you wouldn't think that people know about this information, but they do. And chemistry is just a world of possibilities. And truthfully, it gave me a sense of purpose. I know that sounds crazy, but when I took my first chem class, I just instantly knew that this is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And no other subject gave me that feeling until I took my first chemistry class. And it was at that point when I knew that I wanted to major in chemistry and I wanted to do that for the rest of my life.
So I've always known that I've wanted to be a teacher since I was in about second grade. I always just enjoyed helping my students, the students around me, helping get them to their aha moment, the moment when the objective of the lesson finally clicks in your brain. And when I got to high school, I began to think about what subject I would even teach, because I knew I wanted to be a teacher, but I didn't know what I wanted to teach. But having always been a more STEM-oriented person, I figured something within that realm would be a good fit for me. Although the stereotype for STEM majors is that they're logical people who follow the task-oriented left brain, I think I am definitely more of a right brain person. Although math can sometimes be mechanical, there's a definitive creativity involved in the subject. Whether that's, ingenuity in the steps to reach a solution or inventiveness in how the math can be applied. I personally think there's just something artistic about math. So naturally, I think math is the best fit for me. While I can be analytical and detail-oriented, I'm also artistic and intuitive. And what I love the most about being a math major here at UCI is you find and meet people all along that spectrum. There's not just one type of person that embodies the major. Everyone is different and approaches their lives in different manners, just like you could for a math problem.
For Earth System Science, I chose that because I absolutely love the environment. I love learning about it. I love learning about how humans interacting with the environment can change it. And as someone very interested in climate change, the faculty at UCI who teach in the Earth System Science department have done a wonderful job of linking just like learning about the hard science involved in Earth System Science and linking that to human behaviors. And that's something I absolutely adore about Earth System Science, is how despite being a pretty isolated subject, it's made interdisciplinary by the professor's dedication and just by the way we can add all sorts of different aspects to Earth System Science and make it into something that anybody can learn and anybody can utilize.
I think a lot of people have the perception that math is something really rigorous and very rule following. Like you can't do this if this is that. Like this is the formula, this is the law. But I think that's actually very much not true. I think now that I've learned a lot more and delved into a lot more math courses, I've seen that it's something very, very freeing and artistic in the way that math is presented. It's basically like, the way I see it, it's a language where you can view the world in a very, very specific way and prospectively try and understand it. And I think that's something very beautiful to be taken aback by. And I don't think any other major has been able to really bring that forth to me. I think a lot of the other majors, if anything, are very the opposite. Like I know people think that math is very, again, rigorous and restrictive, but no, I think I actually view that about a lot of other majors, where I feel math is very creative and it allows for a lot of creativity, being able to do things with numbers and look at numbers in various different ways and understand them and model the world in any capacity that you can think of. I think that's why I decided to be a math major.